Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems and welcome to another edition of Track Walk in MX Simulator. Today I am playing Alex Effertz' Secret SX track, which is a couple years old now, I believe. I think it was released in middle-ish 2015, and it was created by Alex Effertz, as mentioned, who is now a part of the Race Factory Gaming track creation crew. And he does some awesome work, and this is one of his earlier releases, if I remember. I know he released a kind of wooded looking national track for his first one, but then I don't think this one was that long after it. So it's kind of cool sometimes, at least for me, to go back and like kind of find these sort of hidden gems that you almost forget about, but like they were cool when they were released and people definitely played them, and I found it again and was like, hey, I want to try this one out. So I figured I'd give it a go, and obviously haven't done track walk in a couple weeks, so trying to get back into the swing of things. And when I started playing the game today, for the first time in basically a week since I'd played it, I was like, you know what, kind of bored of playing Nationals. We have an off week this week from real life Nationals anyway. I want to ride a Supercross track. So I played a couple different ones and ended up resorting onto this one. And I'm not sure if it's one that anybody's ever recommended, but I don't know. I just wanted to give it a go. Thought it looks kind of cool, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do to play it. So yeah, no track walk for a little bit. Hopefully I can sort of bring it back into being a weekly thing, although my hopes for that aren't terribly high right now. The real reason why it's been so challenging to release content lately is, as some of you know, I was working at vermoto.com up until January when they closed their doors. So I was jobless. The job hunt began. I got interviewed at a couple different places. A couple of them actually offered jobs, but they were more like marketing positions at really weird sales companies that I didn't really feel comfortable working at, to be honest. So I tried to stay within the motocross industry, pretty much became like a final candidate, probably would have been offered the job to work at Youthstream as a PR and social media agent, associate, whatever you want to call it. And Youthstream is the company that runs the MXGP series. So I would have had to move to England, and honestly my fiance and I came very, very close to doing that, but as it turns out, we just decided to not go down that route, so I declined to continue interviewing or pursuing that job, and the people that I was going through with that job understood. So that was a little bit of a bummer, and then I moved on to a couple other things. Obviously now I've been doing some work for motoxaddicts.com, and that was kind of cool how that came about. Just getting basically a random phone call one day, and someone telling me that this guy's interested. Got on the phone with Dan Lamb, and that's been cool so far. But before that, I had actually talked to a few other companies, and actually was pretty much like a finalist candidate to get a pretty good job, I would say, working at a pretty high-ranking motocross magazine as an editor. And unfortunately, I didn't get it, and I don't really want to disclose what magazine that was or anything, but it would have been super cool if I could have got it. And someday I'll talk about that whole process, about what happened there. But anyway, I've been trying to search around for money because the motocross industry, motocross journalism doesn't make a whole lot unless you have a very permanent position somewhere, which I obviously don't. And so right now I'm just doing some temporary manual labor work. That's a 40-hour-a-week job, sometimes more, and it's just money to get by. But I'm really trying to find a new job right now, like another extended job somewhere that is full-time and is permanent and has good pay and goes along with my major, which is communication studies. So I've kind of dove headfirst into really trying to make that happen. Got a couple interviews already, and still kind of in the process of getting that done. And when I finally do get a new job, I think it'll free up some time to be able to do these videos a little bit more often. But as you can tell lately, the channel hasn't been just getting pumped out like it used to. And that's really a product of, I go to my daily job during the week, come home, and pretty much spend a lot of the time either looking for jobs or just at least taking a little bit of time to relax. So just haven't been able to produce the content as much as I'd like, and that's a big bummer because the channel's doing so great right now, and I want to just keep you know, doing more work, getting new videos out, doing videos in new and different games. There's a lot of new games out that I'd love to try and do videos in, and I certainly will get down to that at some point. But right now, like I said, it's just I really need to bunker down, get a job that will pay me a good steady income, and I don't have to worry about it being a temporary position or anything along those lines. So again, I apologize for the lack of content. I know some people have been saying like, what happened to Track Walk where, you know, it just disappeared? It's not just disappeared, and I haven't just fallen off the face of the earth, I promise. It's just circumstantial that I haven't been able to put enough time into the channel yet to really produce the content that I'd like to put out. And in the meantime of that anyway, there's a couple of the cool little projects I think for the channel that I've been working on that I think will be pretty cool and you guys will enjoy them. Because I have a lot of time to rack my brain while I'm at work during the day of things I want to do, and I'm looking forward to putting some of those projects together, as well as working with a couple other cool new people that I'd love to have associated with the channel in the future at some point. So keep on the lookout for that. I think as soon as the summer is over and hopefully, you know, I got a new job and I'm settled in, then obviously things will settle down just a little bit. But that's a little update on me. I promised I would give an update on what's going on in another Track Walk video. Since a couple of people had asked what's been going on. Obviously, this is the first video this week and the first video in basically 7 days that I've even put out. So, as you can tell, it's died down a lot. We used to put out a video every single day of the week, and now it's down to hopefully getting 2 or 3 videos out a week, if that. So, again, just, you know, circumstantial. It's going to change. It's not going to be like this the whole time. I'm going to start producing more content, different content, more videos, get other people involved. It doesn't help that Jeremy got really busy again. You may remember, like last summer around this time, Jeremy also kind of fell off the face of the earth, at least from the SYS standpoint. That was just him getting busy at his real job, and the same thing has pretty much happened again. So, kind of the worst case scenario for being able to produce content for both of us right now, and we're just gonna truck on through it and start producing more as soon as we have the available time. But as for this track walk video and this track itself, like I said, Alex Effertz making this track. It is a little small, little tights, and I'm riding a 450, so obviously I'm kind of OJing a lot of stuff. You can kind of stretch out sections that you really shouldn't be able to, probably. So I would recommend maybe riding a 250F to play this track, or maybe even a 125 to kind of slow things down. The traction is fairly grippy. I don't think you're going to have any problems like playing it and sliding around too much. And the sections are all pretty easy to get down, so nothing too crazy. The whoops are pretty small. The berms hold you pretty well, although that's a terrible example of it right there. And really, it's just kind of a cool, unique track. Like this, the style of it is basically, you know, like if you can imagine somewhere at the top of a mountain, kind of like Samurai's village, you know, whatever, like a temple, samurai temple at the top of a mountain. Instead of that, put a motocross track, and you have to helicopter in. Like, that's the whole point. Like, the next section I go through on the right-hand side, you'll see he actually modeled a helicopter that is sitting right there on the side of the track. So, like, obviously you can't actually fly that in this game. But that's the kind of genre of it, is that you have to actually fly in to be able to ride this track. If it were a real track, it's got a little, like, mountain stream in it kind of thing, and basically cliffs off of any other side of the map. So that's kind of a really unique concept, at least in my opinion, because I can't recall anything that's like this, where it's like top of the mountain, in the middle of the mountain somewhere, someone builds a track like this. Obviously, I doubt you'd ever see a situation where you have to helicopter a motorcycle in to actually ride the track. But I could foresee a scenario where there is a track buried in the hills at the top of a mountain somewhere, and there's like a curvy, windy road that you have to take to get up there, and it's probably a private property or something like that. But like I said, I think it's a cool concept, and I think that it was put together quite well. I mean, he decided to make a pretty unique little supercross track where it crosses over each other a few times. It has this little cool roundabout thing. The rhythm sections are pretty fun. He's got the stream that runs through it, so you jump over it on the dragon's back on the other side, and then there's a supercross triple on this side that you jump over. Back-to-back whoop sections. The start kind of does a switchback that you never touch again, but if you actually decided to like maybe play this or race this online with some of your friends, that might be a cool little feature for a start. And yeah, just in general, like it's a definitely fun little unique track. I would recommend trying it out. That's the whole purpose of doing these track walk videos, is to give you guys recommendations of tracks or different things that you could try to do in this game, whether it's enduros, whether it's freestyle, whether it's nationals, whether it's supercross. Give you a whole gamut of the genres. And having not done a supercross track in a little while after supercross season ended, I was feeling a little supercross-less this week and decided, nah, let's buckle down, do a supercross track, have a little bit of fun, ride a 450, play some MX Simulator. Man, oh man, was I rusty as all can be when I started playing this game today. I was playing some of those other tracks. I had to revert back to an old setup that's a little bit of a stiffer in the stability range. So can't whip as gnarly, but at least I can actually go around the track, which I was having a lot of troubles doing on some of the other tracks. And maybe that's a product of the tracks being challenging, or maybe that's just literally me losing my ability to play this game, as I haven't been able to play it that much. But whatever it was going to be bad, and I was really not looking forward to making a video where I was going to crash every other freaking lap, which I've pretty much done anyway, but at least in between that, it looks like my riding has been somewhat decent. So hopefully that isn't the worst track walk video you've ever seen, as I just finally ran a lap time that was a good complete lap right there, 50-second lap time. I feel like I've done worse track walk videos than this in terms of my riding abilities, and I'm definitely gonna have to try to get a little bit more back into sim, I feel like, in these coming weeks, to try to get my skills back, because they've certainly taken a hit with the lack of playing time that I've put in lately. I think in the last 5 weeks, I've maybe picked up and actually played the game like 3 or 4 times total, and usually it's honestly just to either do a track walk video or do the real motocross track gameplay videos that I talk about the real motocross racing in. It's either of those two things, and occasionally I'll turn a lap or two on this, the current national track as well, just to test cameras out for the upcoming live streams that I have. So, I mean, it's a very rare case right now that I'm able to play this game, much less play hardly any video games. Like I said, just really swamped with regular, getting through my regular day's work and then coming home and trying to find other work to do that actually pays me well. Because YouTube doesn't pay the bills quite as well as you may think, or I don't know what you think out there, but YouTube isn't making me enough money to live off of, that's for sure. And I wish it was, but it's not. And for the time being, I'm going to have to try to focus on actually getting a job that will pay the bills. And unfortunately, that means obviously YouTube has to take a little bit of a back seat. But a lot of exciting things to come. Don't think that the channel's dying or anything like that. It's totally not a case. It's just one of those situations where life throws me a curveball. I'm trying to actually make a play on it, and hopefully it kind of settles down and start being able to produce content again more regularly. But this is another edition of Track Walk and MX Simulator. If you guys like this track, you can download it in the description below. It's always there, and try it out for yourself. And if you like this video, there's also a nice little like button just below that description that helps me out a ton if you like our videos. Obviously, if you are brand new to watching a video on this channel, please don't be afraid, subscribe. We got a lot of cool content coming, and always follow us on our social feeds as well to keep up to date with everything that we do. But yeah, another track walk in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed doing another video for you guys, talking, playing, having a little bit of fun. And Kellen Brower, Starter Systems. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.